Nanotechnology is a field of research and innovation concerned with building things, generally materials and devices, on the basis of atoms and molecules. A nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter, 10 times the diameter of a hydrogen atom. The diameter of a human hair is, on average, 80,000 nanometers. At such scales, the ordinary rules of physics and chemistry no longer apply. For instance, materials characteristics such as their color, strength, conductivity, and reactivity can differ substantially between the nanoscale and the macro. Carbon nanotubes are 100 times stronger than steel but 6 times lighter. Nanotechnology is hailed as having the potential to increase the efficiency of energy consumption, help clean the environment, and solve major health problems. It is used to be able to massively increase manufacturing production and significantly reduce costs. Products of nanotechnology will be smaller, cheaper, lighter, yet more functional and require less energy and fewer raw materials to manufacture, claim nanotech advocates. In June 1999, Richard Smalley, Nobel laureate in chemistry, addressed the US House Committee on Science on the benefits of nanotechnology. The impact of nanotechnology on the health, wealth, and lives of people, he said, will be at least the equivalent of the combined influences of microelectronics, medical imaging, computer aided engineering, and man made polymers developed in this country. Concerns about possible effects on human and environmental health, however, are as cautious as Smalley is enthusiastic. Eric Drexler, the scientist who coined the term technology, has warned of developing extremely powerful, extremely dangerous technologies. In this book, Engines of Creation, Drexler envisioned that self-replicating molecules created by human might escape our control. Although this theory has been widely discredited by researchers in the field, many concerns remain regarding the effects of nanotechnology on human and environmental health, as well as the effect the new industry could have on the north-south divide. Activists worry that the science and development of nanotechnology will progress faster than policymakers can devise appropriate regulatory measures. They say an informed debate must take place to determine the balance between risks and benefits. Global marketing for nanotechnology products. Given the promise of nanotechnology, the race is on the harness its potential and to profit from it. Many governments believe nanotechnology will bring about a new era for productivity and wealth, and this is inflected by the way public investment in nanotechnology research and development has risen during the past decade. In 2002, Japan was dedicating $750 million a year to this field, a six-fold increase on the 1997 figures. The US National Science Foundation predicts that the global market for nanotech-based products will exceed $1 trillion within 15 years. Paul Miller, senior researcher at the British Policy Researcher Organization DMOZ, said in 2002 that already roughly one-third of the research budget of the biggest science-based firms in the US is going into nanotech. Effects of nanotechnology in the developing world. In the developing world, Brazil, Chile, China, India, the Philippines, South Korea, South Africa, and Thailand have shown their commitment to nanotechnology by establishing government funded programs and research institutes. Researchers at the University of Toronto Joint Centre for Bioethics have classified these countries as frontrunners: China, South Africa, India, and ground players: Thailand, Philippines, South Africa, Brazil, and Chile. In addition, Argentina and Mexico are up and comers. Although these have research groups studying nanotechnology, their governments have not yet organized dedicated funding. Effects of nanotechnology on health and sanitation. Nanotechnology is already useful as a tool in healthcare research. In January 2005, researchers at the US Massachusetts Institute of Technology used optical tweezers, pairs of tiny glass beads are brought together or moved apart using laser beams to study the elasticity of red blood cells that are infected with the malaria parasites. The technique is helping researchers to better understand how malaria spreads through body. Nanotechnology in drug delivery could also one day lead to cheaper, more reliable systems for drug delivery. For example, materials that are built on the nanoscale can provide encapsulation systems that protect and secretes the enclosed drugs in a slow and controlled manner. This could be a valuable solution in countries that do not have adequate storage facilities and distribution networks, and for patients on complex drug regimens who cannot afford the time or money to travel long distances for a medical visit. Role of nanotechnology in food security. Tiny sensors offer the possibility of monitoring pathogens on crops and livestock as well as measuring crop productivity. In addition, nanoparticles could increase the efficiency of fertilizers. However, the Swiss insurance company Swiss Re warned in a report in 2004 that they could also increase the ability of potentially toxic substances such as fertilizer to penetrate deep layers of the soil and travel over greater distances. In addition, researchers in both developed and developing countries are developing crops that are able to grow under hostile conditions such as fields where the soil contains a high level of salt, sometimes due to climate change and rising sea levels or low levels of water. They are doing this by manipulating the crop's genetic material, working on a nanotechnology scale with biological molecules. By listening this debate, we have a conclusion that assessing the role of nanotechnology and guiding the progression will require cross-sectional involvement of scientists, governments, civil society organizations, and the general public. Informed debate is essential to try to avoid the polarization of views illustrated by the issues of genetic modification. This quick guide aims to provide a range of relevant information for those who would like to better understand and take part in this important debate. Thanks.